Oh my goodness, precious overload over here for the overlord of destruction, Mr. Menace King. And yes, this is a tiny, tiny Megatron Forbidden Mode. And this is from Dr. Wu Woo Woo Woo. Shout out to Deluxe Baldwin, the first person I heard say that. And that is from a song called Never Gonna Get It by a group called In Vogue. But we are gonna get this guy right over here, and this is Mr. Megatron in tiny, diminutive. He's not even Legends scale, actually. I was about to say Legends, but nah, he's not even Legends, dude. He is Dr.Wu scale. And yeah, there are a ton of pluses, but also minuses on this guy. But let us all kind of recognize that he is a tiny, diminutive Megatron, and so there are going to be some areas that are being compromised. I will say the alt mode, I can definitely tell came first. Because you can tell that there's a lot of asymmetry over here, but I mean, like, what are you going to do, right? And you can see over here on the trigger area that this is not a negative space. It's just like black plastic over there. And some of the articulation has been like compromised. And so he can't kick forward. He has some back and he has some like side. But yeah, this skirt doesn't do anything because it needs to hold in like a lot of the pins and stuff. And yeah, it is what it is, dude. The arms are a little bit better. There's a lot of transformation going on over there, and so you're going to get that. But I mean, come on now. At this scale, are you really putting him in these like crazy dynamic poses? Maybe you are, but I'm not. I'm typically just going from one mode to another, converting him into his Walther mode. Here is one of the negatives. You know what? I wanted to just kind of start with all the positives, but since we kind of organically hit upon it, I've transformed this thing a handful of times, maybe about 5 or 6 times. And when I first got him out of the package, he was really, really, really tight. But yeah, with more and more transformations, these tabbing sequences like this and other areas where he tabs in have started to come like a little bit loose, like this too. Like this was originally just kind of like stuck in there, but now it just kind of likes to droop down. It is a small toy. There are no ratchets on there. You're just dealing with frictions, and so I think it's a reality that's going to exist at this particular scale, and you just kind of have to accept it. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like flopping around as you can see, right? But as you're just kind of manipulating and touching, it might come untapped. That's all. I would say, and that's probably the biggest negatives, other than like the limited articulation. But I mean, what are you going to really do at this scale, right? I think the head sculpt is done well. I think the sculpt overall is done well. The Ultima looks great. I think the paint detail is really good. I think they've done as best of a job they can with something at this particular scale, so I don't want to ding them too much. With regard to proportions, when you get him out of the package first time, he's going to appear like a long cat a little bit. Like you guys seen Roboson Megatron, how he's a little bit tall? He's like this out of the package. And then what you need to do is if you want him to be a little bit more squat, is separate the legs and then just kind of hinge him out like that, and it'll be a little bit like New Age's Agamemnon, but that is a lot better in my opinion. And yeah, he looks nice and proportional over here. Yeah, he comes with these accessories, and they're done. Yeah, they're done well. They fit on the alt mode quite nicely, and yeah, nothing particularly fancy about that, but it's done well. The instructions are good. I was able to follow along very, very easily. They're printed on nice paper, and so yeah, it's very nice. The little card is kind of cool. I've been liking these. This type of kind of it's like you can see the texture on there, right? It's a bit of raised plastic and stuff, and yeah, you can see the alt mode, bot mode. I think that's supposed to be the what is it, the tech spec area, and wow, he's got like full 10 full bars on like everything, and yeah, that looks very very nice over here. But anyway, y'all want to see me transform him? Yeah, you do. So let's get to it, Druid. I'll be right back after I clean this stuff up, okay? All right, let's get to it. You know, when I first saw the Dr. Wu stuff and saw what they were doing, I don't know, I wasn't that impressed. But the more and more I've kind of like messed with their toys, dude, I've been really, really enjoying them. You know what? Let me kind of focus on the transformation over here. Okay. Sorry. You want to fold the fist back, okay? And the reason why you're doing that is you need to fold the fist back. But largely it's because you want to spin this, and this, you can see that little tab and slot. You want that to go right there. Yeah, like that. But yeah, like I was saying, I've been really impressed with their stuff and just been liking it more and more. And a lot of these small ones are on loan from a buddy named CC. So yeah, C, I appreciate you for that. On this arm over here, you saw what I did, right? You just kind of like bent in the fist, and you can see the little hammer or whatever that is called is going to be present there. This is the only bit that's going to actually parts form. I think they could have put a swivel on here, but ultimately they chose not to. And yeah, whatever, dude. That's fine, dude. But yeah, you do need to remove that. But man, had that been a post and this was a port, I think, could have spun on it. But doing this allows them to have more negative space and spending less money on plastic. So yeah, whatever, dude. That's fine, dude. What happens over here? So, okay, so now we have the arm positioned over here. We got the arm position. This is going to bend up underneath this. In order to do that, we need to get this over here. And so we're going to start kind of separating that. The head is going to tilt back like this on that flap. We're going to fold the head in, and then we're just going to fold that up. Nice, 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 right? And then we can kind of move this under here, and then we can get that. This is the one that tabs in very securely. The other areas, they've been getting loose, but whatever, dude. Doesn't really matter. So we're going to... Maybe I've done a couple of things out of order. We're going to rock this back here, and then you can see that little like raised bit is going to tab quite securely into this chest, and then we're going to spin the legs around. All right, so now we're going to bring down this arm, and then we're going to rotate this at the forearm, and then we're going to get that to tab in right there, and that's still tabbed right there. And you can see the trigger and the gun kind of, oops, I try not to say that word, the blaster coming together, and then we just move that forward, right? Okay, so from here, we'll just kind of lift these up. These will spin 180 degrees, just the outside panel, all right? Make sure you move it past that little toe. And then once we've done that, we're going to tab the legs together, bring the feet up, and we're going to rock this back. And those little slots over here are going to tab in to those tabs that I just mentioned. You're going to have to clean them up a little bit because we're going to bring these down. And so you can open up this flap and then bring the whole thing down. And oh, it kind of worked out, actually. I didn't have to really clean it up too much. But yeah, there's one side. And then we get the other side. It won't tab in, but this this little hinge will sit inside that groove. So I don't know, man. I think they've done a great job for something at this scale. And there's different versions of this too, actually. There's a clear version. There's one with red legs. And yeah, and I got all of them. And so we're going to go through all of those. But okay, so this bit, sorry about that. So this bit over here, you know what? Can you give me 1 second? I have to check that message. Give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. I was gone longer than I'd like to admit. Had to kind of like handle something. So, okay, this back part, normally it would slide up, but for this guy, it's actually kind of cool. You actually just slot it in between these two slides, and there are 4 points of connection. So you just need to kind of line them up. But once you do, it's good in the hood, right? All good. And then so from there, we're going to plug this in. It only plugs in one way. And this we're going to have go on here. And just look at that already, dude. Just look at that, dude. That's just beautiful. And then we get that sit right there. And now we're done, son. Gorgeous, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. And what's not gorgeous, though, is this part. You can see how fat the handle is, right? At the same time, I willingly accept these compromises because, come on now. Look how small this thing is. This is not going to be a masterpiece scale figure. And I think the fact that they're able to actually even accomplish this this mode is quite an accomplishment, quite a feat. And I applaud them for their efforts. Maybe it's not your thing. It definitely is my thing. And so, yeah, if you want to pick him up, the purchase link is in the description. I don't get affiliate commission from this or anything like that. I just want to make it easy for you so you can follow the shortcut, but whatever, you don't have to. Nonetheless, let's call him Mr. Wu. Dr. Wu's Megatron. I'm very, very impressed. I think you're going to like him too if you pick him up. All right. I've gone over the pros and cons, and so you kind of know what you're in for. And so, yeah, if this is your thing, yeah, do it. If not, don't do it. Anyway, thanks for watching.